Hello, my name is Jakub Šterba and I am Product Manager at GoodData. Let me show you our data localization feature. This feature extends other localization capabilities like localization of user interface, localization of metadata like names of dashboards, visualizations, metrics, etc. And it lets you provide translated texts from the database. I will be using for my demonstration data from OECD about electricity generation, and I created two dashboards. The first dashboard shows carbon intensity for selected countries, and you can see that country names are in English. The second dashboard shows energy mix of selected country. United States are displayed by default, and I can change it to other country like Austria, for example. Now to demonstrate localization capabilities, I have created in this workspace multiple users, each with different language. So let me share this dashboard filtered to Austria with other user. Now in a different web browser container, I have user with German language, and you can see that the country names on the first dashboard are in German, and you can see that they are also properly ordered, including Österreich, which starts with German umlaut. The second dashboard is also fully translated to German, and you can see that by default it opened energy mix for United States. Now let me follow the link from the first user, and you can see that this link pre-filtered Österreich, which is Austria in English. So the filter applies like proper filtering condition, even if the value is displayed in a different language. We have provided this localization experience not only for consumption via dashboards, but also for data exploration. So here in this tab for analysis, you can see that I created some visualization with top 10 countries based on produced energy in 2023. And you can see that country names are provided in German. It also uses German date format and German number format with comma as decimal separator and dot as thousand separator. And now if I want to filter it to source of energy hydropower, I can use energy Quelle attribute, and I will filter it to Wasserkraft. Also here you can see that it uses localized sorting algorithm, so German umlaut is ordered in the middle. Now you can see that Canada produced the most energy from hydropower. Let me save this visualization, and I can open it as that user with English, and you can see that it filters appropriate value, and the data is in English. So country names are in English. It uses American number format because I'm using American English, and also number format is localized. Now if I switch to user with French, you can see that the user interface is translated to French, but not the dashboard, because I haven't provided metadata translations, neither the data translation. So everything is in English. And let me show you how I can add support to additional languages and how this actually works. So how I did it, I extracted the data from OECD Data Explorer, transformed them, and uploaded them to the MotherDAC. You can see that in some like fact table. There are used some codes to reference country and energy source. So not the actual texts that are displayed in the UI. And I am using dimension table to map these codes to texts in different languages, and for each language I have separate table column. The same is used also for other dimension tables like energy source, where some code is again translated to 2 different languages. In a semantic layer in GoodData model, you can see the fact datasets reference the dimension tables, and these dimension tables contain 2 labels for attributes. The first label is used for joins and also to preserve filter selections, so these selections like stay consistent for different languages. And the secondary label is displayed by default, and it shows text in English, but there is also translation for this label to German language. And the same is used also for other dimension table. Here there are even like more labels that are used for our geocharts. So country name is displayed by default, and it has also German translation. Now, if I want to add additional languages, I will use for that Cursor, which is AI native code editor. And this code editor has installed GoodData extension, and thanks to this extension I can use this chat interface, and I can ask it to add French, Spanish, Swedish and Japanese translations to the CSV files. Now let me walk you through this folder. So here is analytics subfolder that contains content of the workspace, and I can manage analytics by code there. So it contains dashboards, metrics, visualizations, etc., and also information about data model. And data model is split into like separate YAML files for different data sets, and this country YAML file defines the country dataset, and then there you can find country name label, which is in English, and it has one translation to German language, and here is a reference to the table column with that translation. And there is also a country CSV dataset where you can see that there are just like 2 languages. For example, here you can see Austria and Österreich, so there's English and German variant of that translation. And here you can see that the cursor is already creating the new content of the CSV files. So here you can see that it already created translations in other languages. Now it's translated also the other CSVs. And it is updating the model. So if I go to the country YAML file, you can see that it added these additional columns into the country name label. Now it asked me to confirm deployment of the changes to the motherbrack database, and it also updated content in GoodData. So here is some summary, and let me also translate the metadata. so like names of visualizations, dashboards, metrics, etc. I've prepared this prompt for it. Basically it tells to extract all the text into a file in XLIF file format for each language and translate it to appropriate language using Gemini. Here you can see that there is translations folder, and it contains now this XLIF file for German language, which I translated earlier. And it is XML file where there is a source in original language, and there is also target with the translation to the target language. And this file in this XLIF file format can be exchanged with some translation agency, and this translation agency can translate the file. But it is also suitable for machine translation. So here you can see that earlier when I was translating it to German, it created these additional scripts, and there is this translate script which was created by Cursor based on my prompt. It uses Google Gemini to translate the XLIF file to target language. And then there are some support scripts which were also wipe coded by Cursor for synchronization of this XLIF file with GoodData, and it is using GoodData Python SDK. There is just one call of that SDK to extract all text into the file, and then you can also import all the translations back. So you can see that the Cursor already created XLIF files for these additional languages. And it is doing the translation, so maybe I can open already French translation, and you can see that some text is already translated to French. Now we have to wait for completion of translation of other languages as well. And here is a summary. So let's have a look how it went. So I will update data model, and here you can see that there are already 5 languages in data model. And if I go to that French version of workspace, you can see that all the text on dashboard are translated to French, including the country names, and they are also properly ordered, including the United States. If I reload Spanish version of the workspace, you can see that with this user, the workspace is also fully translated to Spanish. Now let me open the same workspace with the user with Swedish. Here is a special case. I have set it like differently, that it is using English for the user interface, but the rest, metadata and data, are translated to Swedish. So it shows some flexibility that you have. You can, for example, set different variants of English, like American English or British English for metadata, and have just one version of the data for English. Here you can notice that umlaut character is ordered at the end, because this is how it is done in Swedish alphabet. And the last dashboard, or last user, shows the same dashboard in Japanese, and here you can also notice localization of date formats. So I have presented that we have a rich set of localization capabilities. You can have consistent filter experience. You can let users collaborate even if they see data in different languages. And thanks to our integration of good data with AI native code editors, you can automate translation of the whole experience in minutes instead of maintaining manually multiple copies of analytics in different languages. These localization capabilities work also with our embedding of analytics. So you can define all these translations in a parent workspace, and your tenants can inherit it in their child workspaces. And this is all from me. Thank you for your attention. Goodbye.